listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation. Your host, Ben Worthington.
IELTS listening. Matching questions. In this tutorial, we will focus on how you can tackle matching questions more effectively. And then we're going to get familiar with the different sections of the IELTS listening test. Now, the matching questions are common in sections 2 and 3 of the listening test. The specific instructions can vary, so it's very important to read it thoroughly. And you probably want to get familiar with the different variations. And you can do this by looking at practice tests. Now, as with other types of questions in the listening test, you need to continuously practice this part or this test in order to improve. Now, generally speaking, I dislike giving vague, generic advice as practice, 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 and you will get perfect. And, we all know that we need to practice. And it kind of loses its effect. It becomes trite, so to speak, because it's just overused. And I find that the best teachers help you get to this point of practicing, because one thing is saying it, then the other thing is actually doing it. Now, we all face challenges every day, and we've probably all got our conscience saying we should be doing this, we should be doing that, we should be doing that. But what I found is that success, progress, it comes from a small change repeated daily, not by blitzing it 3 days before the exam. Or if you're going to learn a language, doing 5 days of 6 hours every single day and then doing nothing for the rest of the month will not be as powerful as doing it, for example, 30 minutes every day for the whole month. All right? It has to be repeated daily. And as I've said a million times before, repetition is the mother of all learning. Let me give you an analogy. Okay, so for example, a stone cutter, if you just look at a stone cutter, it's not the final blow that breaks the stone, it's the hundreds before that, okay? It's the repetition. Now, as I've been saying, I dislike saying practice makes perfect. So what I'm going to do now, before we jump into this IELTS listening, I'm just going to share a strategy or an insight. Yeah. So we might have our goal to practice IELTS. Okay. That's very vague. So first of all, we need to make it specific. We need to say, I need to go for IELTS band 7, IELTS band 8. That's even better. A lot of you have probably already done that. Now, the thing is, right? If we just jump ship and let me talk about the Olympics, it is related. Now, every athlete in the 100-meter sprint has the goal of getting gold. Okay, that's a no-brainer. Maybe there's a confused athlete who has the goal of going for bronze, but that's very unlikely. So if they've all got goals, but only one of them is going to get the results, then perhaps goals are not as important. Goals will give us direction, but we need an engine in order to get there. What kind of engine am I talking about? Well, we need to focus on a system. All right? Systems, setting up your system will facilitate your success. Yeah, because we all know that there are lots of students with a goal or a target for band 7, 8 or 9, or even 6.5 sometimes. But the ones who get there are the ones who've got a system in place. Let me give you an example. So you could have a goal of, improving your IELTS listening or improving your writing. Now, what kind of system in place are you going to put in place in order to get there? It could be, I'm going to do an IELTS test every single day. That's good. That's better than nothing. But it's keeping to that system. You could say, I'm going to write a single essay every day. That's good as well. But don't keep on doing that. It's better to get feedback if you want to improve fast. But the important thing is that we get a routine. How do we establish a routine? Well, if we are struggling with writing an essay every day or copying out an essay every day or doing an IELTS listening test every day, then let's break it down and let's first focus on establishing this habit of writing out an essay every day. Okay? Break it down into the small parts, and we're going to just do 5 minutes of listening practice every single day. 5 minutes is easy. Anybody can do 5 minutes of listening practice every single day. And then the idea is that we focus first on doing the listening practice first, the 5 minutes. That's it. Yeah? Once we've established this habit, once we've established this routine, now we can start extending it to doing 10 minutes. And we can also do this with the writing. So first of all, we can copy out a single sentence every single day. Then we can maybe copy out a whole paragraph after a week. But the first victory is establishing that routine. Once we've got that routine established, then we can start building on it. You see? As it says in the book I'm currently reading, it says, you do not fall to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your systems. So this is why it's very important to establish a system for your IELTS preparation. This is why we get a lot of success with the IELTS writing course, Jump to a Band 7 or it's free. It is based on a system. We break down each writing task into small parts, even the thinking, even the brainstorming of ideas. We break it down into small components, and slowly but surely you go through the course mastering each of these components. You see? So just as a summary, if you want to improve with your IELTS listening or in any part of your IELTS preparation, first focus on your goal. Now, what kind of system are we going to put into place to achieve that goal? And then we break it down into into its smallest components, and then apply a routine. Establish that routine, even if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes a day, a word a day, a sentence a day. But the first goal is to establish that routine, and then we start building on that tiny action. And you'll see it's much easier to establish and to keep the routine going. It's much easier to commit to the process, to get the momentum going. And then within a week, 2 weeks, you will find yourself writing more or listening to more parts of the IELTS listening test, for example. Now, sorry, I got a bit off topic there. Let's get back to the tutorial. We're going to talk about matching questions. As I said, these are common in sections 2 and 3 of the listening test. As I said before, we will read these thoroughly so we do not get mixed up and we do not blunder through the test writing full words or writing full numbers instead of placing the actual figures there. Let's have a look now at a sample audio. Not a sample audio, a sample question. So we're in section 3, And in section 3, it's going to be an academic conversation, something that's related to maybe students, something education based. Yeah, and there's going to be 2 or 3 people. And in this section, you're going to hear lots of different opportunities. And this is why it's important to get to listen to more examples. And just get familiar with the test. So let's go. Section 3, questions 21 to 25. What have the speakers heard about in the following courses? Okay, what have the speakers heard about of the following courses? Instructions. As I said, you read the instructions thoroughly. Choose 5 answers from the box and write the correct letters A to G next to questions 21 to 25. It's quite straightforward. I'll just read it for you before we listen to the audio. So your options A to G are A, not very useful, B, enjoyable, C, practical, D, flexible, E, fast-paced, F, time-consuming, G, boring. Now, if you're already familiar with the IELTS test, the listening test, hopefully you will be thinking of alternatives and alternate synonyms and ways to paraphrase those comments or adjectives or nouns, whatever. Okay? So not very useful. What could we say instead of that? We could say useless. We could say impractical, perhaps. You need to be thinking now of different ways to say these phrases. Enjoyable. What could we say for enjoyable? We could say it's fun. We could say it's pleasure. We could say maybe the verb, maybe the adjective love. I love doing that subject. Practical. We could say possibly pragmatic. We could say it's like real world. We could say it's useful in the real world, and so on and so forth. So just get into the habit of brainstorming different ways of saying the same term. Now, the courses that you're going to hear about are project management, Spanish language, cognitive psychology, business administration, and creativity and innovation. Let's jump into it. So at the beginning of the recording, you're going to hear, you will hear 2 university students discussing the subsidiary subjects they can choose from in the second year of their degree courses. Let's listen. So, have you made a decision about what subsidiary subject you're going to study next year?
No, to be honest, I haven't really given it much thought yet. We have got a few more weeks left before we need to decide. And how about you?
Well, I've been mulling it over for a while, but I haven't come to any conclusions. I don't want to rush into anything.
Well, what choices do you have available in the chemistry department? I expect that they are related to maths or computing, are they? Not very interesting.
Well, they used to be, but these days we can choose things like business administration, project management, or even something called creativity and innovation.
Creativity and innovation? That sounds a bit different. What does that involve?
Well, I was talking to someone who did the course last year, and he actually put me off a bit.
Why? What did he say?
He said that the lecturer was excellent, but he also told me completing the assignments took up a lot of his time, and it's only supposed to be a subsidiary subject after all.
Well, how about a business administration?
Everyone says that's dull as ditch water. I heard the project management course is good though. Very hands-on and not theoretical at all. So I guess it'll be a toss-up between creativity and innovation and project management.
Right. Well, I think I've narrowed my choices down to 2.
But you said you hadn't really thought about it.
Well, when you're doing a degree in education, there isn't much choice. Most of the subjects are compulsory.
Okay, so what are the 2 options?
Either cognitive psychology, which might be good because I can do the classes online as well as face-to-face, or Spanish language.
And which way are you leaning at the moment?
In fact, I'm thinking of doing Spanish, mostly because I've heard that it's actually fun. A lot of the lectures I've attended this year have been quite dry, so Spanish might be the breath of fresh air that I've been looking for.
Okay, so how did you do? Did you manage to answer questions 21 to 25? So for 21, we have project management. The answer was C. On the recording, I said it was very hands-on and not theoretical at all. You see? Let's go back. C, practical, of course. Next one. 22, Spanish language. The woman said it's fun. So what's another word for fun? Enjoyable. 23, cognitive psychology. D. The woman said that you can do the classes online as well as face-to-face, so it is quite flexible. You see here, we didn't really have a synonym of flexible, but the general idea, the gist behind the phrase is that you can do online classes and face-to-face infers that it is flexible. 24, business administration, G. The man said, everyone says it is dull as ditch water. Okay, so hopefully you know that the word dull means boring. This is why it's incredibly important to boost your vocabulary. And as I said, we've got an exciting new program coming up soon about boosting IELTS vocabulary. Quite excited about this, but I am testing out this system before. This is a really good system. Seems quite straightforward, seems quite powerful. It doesn't seem like that much effort, and it seems like minimum fuss as well. I am testing it out at the moment. A famous polyglot showed it to me. Now I'm testing it out, and soon we will be able to release this as a service. I don't know yet what we'll do with it, but it's coming along. It's in the pipeline. 25, creativity and innovation, F. Okay, so it was me, wasn't it? I said that completing assignments took up a lot of my time. So then it was obviously time consuming. Right, that's everything for today's lesson. By the way, these scripts are available in the IELTS app. They are available at IELTSPodcast.com, but I'd strongly recommend you go into iTunes and look for IELTS Podcast app, Ben Worthington. You get these new podcasts. You get updated immediately before anywhere else. You get the transcripts there, and in the transcripts there's also the links to the actual resources that we mention as well. And remember, if you found this tutorial useful, please share it with other IELTS students. And if you are struggling, then you should come over to IELTS Podcast, sign up. We give lots of resources and materials away for free. And also, when you sign up, you get the opportunity to email us and tell us what you're struggling with. And then we'll respond with some more resources, some more links, some help, possibly a special offer. It just depends. Okay? And we get hundreds of emails every single day. I don't know how long we can continue this service, but for the time being, we're going to keep it going. That's it for me. Thank you very much for listening, and remember, move forward with this. Implement that system that I recommended earlier. Just commit 5 minutes every day. That's all you need to do. And like I've said in previous podcasts, make sure it's proper work. Watching a YouTube video is not proper work. It's just passively learning. It's almost like entertainment, but it feels good. But it's not real learning. Real learning is jumping in, getting your hands dirty, so to speak. So pick up a pen, start transcribing, start writing, start doing 5 minutes of listening practice, actively listening, and you'll soon see an improvement. And that's what it's all about. Okay, keep moving. Have a good day.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.
So, have you made a decision? Oh,
Oh,
that's you. Sorry. Can you cut that out?
no worries.